How humans accidentally created dogs. Why do you think humans ended up with dogs instead of like wolves? Like actually think about that for a second. We could have had wolves sleeping in our beds, but instead we got chihuahuas in little sweaters. And the wild part, we didn't plan this. Dogs weren't invented. They just happened. The weird observation. Okay, so imagine you're alive 30,000 years ago. You're sitting around a fire with maybe 20 other people. You're hungry. You're cold. And just beyond the firelight, there are wolves. Not cute wolves. Not, I want to pet that wolves. These are starving, massive, terrifying apex predators with teeth like daggers and noses that could smell your fear from 3 miles away. Humans were small. We were slow. We couldn't see in the dark. We were basically on the menu. And yet somehow, out of every single animal on the planet, wolves became our best friends. Not horses, not cows, not even other primates. Wolves. There are literally 900 million dogs on Earth right now. They sleep in our beds. They wear birthday hats. They detect bombs. They rescue people from avalanches. And the origin story is absolutely insane, because dogs were created by accident. The setup. Here's what actually happened. Picture the Ice Age. Maybe 20,000 to 40,000 years ago. Humans are living as hunter-gatherers, constantly moving around looking for food. Life is brutal. Hunts fail. Winter kills people. A broken leg? Death. But here's the important part. Humans are messy eaters. Even when we're starving, we leave behind bones, scraps, skin, half-eaten carcasses. To a wolf, a human camp is basically a moving trash can of free calories. So some wolves started creeping closer. They approached cautiously. The bold ones got closer. The aggressive ones? Yeah, those got speared. The terrified ones stayed far away and got nothing to eat. But then there were the other ones. The ones that were just less afraid, less aggressive. More curious. Modern genetics suggests some wolves were just literally born more chill around humans. And this is where it gets wild. The accidental evolution. These calmer wolves had better access to food because they stayed near camps. The aggressive wolves had to risk their lives hunting dangerous prey. So, over generations, evolution just filtered wolves based on personality. Friendlier wolves survived better. Calmer wolves stayed closer. The hyper-aggressive ones died. And nobody was even trying to domesticate them. Nobody was like, let's breed these wolves on purpose. It was just, camp scraps plus less scary wolves equal sign more less scary wolf offspring. But then something absolutely crazy happened. Their bodies started changing. I'm not talking about training or behavior. I'm talking about physical changes. Scientists actually watched this happen in real time. In 1959, a Soviet guy named Dmitry Belyaev did an experiment with foxes. He literally only bred the tamest foxes. That's it. No training. No tricks. Just pick the calmest foxes and let them have babies. And within a few decades, the foxes started acting like dogs. They wagged their tails. They whined for attention. They licked people's hands. But the really trippy part? Their bodies changed too. Their ears became floppy. Their snouts got shorter. Their fur developed white patches. Their tails curled. When you select for less aggression, apparently the whole animal just shifts. Domesticated animals across different species have this weird pattern. Softer faces, smaller jaws, patchier fur, floppy ears. Almost like being less angry physically rewires your entire body. The slow realization. So imagine standing in an Ice Age camp. You see wolves nearby that look slightly smaller, slightly calmer, slightly less terrifying than normal wolves. Not pets, not fully wild anymore, something in between. And this probably didn't happen in just one place. It was probably happening everywhere humans and wolves met at the same time. For thousands of years, this just happened silently. No human realized they were watching evolution unfold beside their campfire. But humans probably noticed the benefits pretty fast. Wolves hear things before you do. They smell predators from insane distances. They track prey better than humans ever could. A wolf hanging around camp is basically a living alarm system. Bears approaching? The wolves react first. Strangers nearby? They notice. Prey animals close by? Wolves help you find them. Once both species started helping each other survive, everything accelerated. This is why dogs are the first domesticated animal in human history. Earlier than sheep, earlier than goats, earlier than farming, earlier than literally everything. the biological love story. And when humans eventually invented agriculture, something else happened. Dogs evolved the ability to digest starch way better than wolves could. Think about how wild that is. Dogs were surviving with us before writing, before cities, before metal tools, before the pyramids. Over thousands of generations, their digestive system changed to match what humans were eating. But the emotional stuff? That's even more insane. When you stare into your dog's eyes, both of you release oxytocin. That's the same hormone involved in bonding between parents and children. Wolves don't do this naturally with humans. Dogs do. Your Labrador looking at you with those eyes? That's not random. Evolution literally shaped dogs to emotionally manipulate your brain. And those famous puppy dog eyes probably became more common simply because humans cared more for dogs that looked sad and cute. Think about that. We accidentally selected for dogs that activate your parental instincts. Some scientists think dogs were so good at hunting that humans with dogs just survived better than humans without them. Dogs might have helped humans spread across the entire planet. The cost. But domestication came with a price. Dogs lost what made wolves wild. Modern dog breeds suffer because of how we breed them. Pugs struggle to breathe. Dachshunds develop spinal problems. Bulldogs sometimes can't even give birth naturally, which is honestly kind of dark if you think about it. We were so good at reshaping these animals that we broke them. But here's the weird part. The wolf never fully left. When dogs circle before lying down, they might be copying wolves flattening grass from thousands of years ago. When they howl, bury food, or twitch while dreaming, ancient instincts are still surfacing. Inside every chihuahua, inside every husky, the shadow of an ice age predator. And maybe that's why dogs feel so different from other domesticated animals. Cats live near humans. Cows tolerate humans. Horses work with humans. But dogs joined humans. They weren't just nearby. They were with us. The emotional turn. They slept beside us while predators circled the firelight. They crossed frozen landscapes with us. They guarded sleeping camps. They followed us into storms, migrations, wars, and continents we'd never seen. Somewhere along the way, the relationship became bigger than survival. Archaeologists in Germany found a grave from around 14,000 years ago. Inside, a man, a woman, and a dog. The dog had been sick as a puppy. Seriously sick. But it survived for weeks, maybe months. Which means Ice Age humans struggling in one of the harshest environments imaginable were spending precious food and energy nursing a sick dog back to health. Think about that. They had nothing. And they spent it on a dog. That's not usefulness anymore. That's attachment, friendship, maybe even love. The biological reality. For thousands of generations, we shaped each other. Not because we planned it. Not because we understood genetics or evolution. Just because some wolves were less afraid of fire. No master plan. No grand invention. Just scraps beside a fire. Cautious animals creeping closer in the dark. Evolution slowly turning fear into partnership. And the craziest part? The relationship actually changed our brains too. Humans with dogs were better hunters, better protected, better at surviving. So humans who bonded with dogs had more babies. And those babies inherited the ability to bond with dogs. For thousands of years, we were selecting for humans who could emotionally connect with wolves, which means dogs didn't just domesticate themselves. We domesticated each other. You're not just raised by your parents. You're raised by 40,000 years of evolution designed to love dogs. The weird realization. Right now, somewhere in the world, a dog is falling asleep, maybe beside you, maybe across the room, without any idea that this friendship actually started tens of thousands of years ago. That at some point, a lonely, scared wolf decided that the risk of approaching a human camp was worth the chance at food. That somewhere in your DNA is the legacy of humans who chose to feed sick dogs instead of abandoning them. That every time your dog looks at you, both of your brains are flooding with the same attachment hormone that connects parents to children, that you can't even tell where the wolf ends and the dog begins because we've been reshaping each other for longer than civilization has existed. Your dog isn't a pet. It's the result of the longest, most accidental love story in human history. And it started because humans leave messy campsites. The outro. So the next time your dog does something weird circles before sitting, howls at nothing, buries a toy, remember what you're actually seeing. You're seeing an Ice Age predator. You're seeing thousands of generations of evolution. You're seeing the moment wolves decided to trust humans, and you're seeing humans decide to love them back. All by accident, all because of scraps, all because some wolves were brave enough to creep a little closer to the firelight. And maybe that's the real story. Not how humans created dogs, but how humans and wolves created each other.